Listen to this. Gen Z is undergoing a digital detox. A new study finding a majority of young Americans are unplugging from the internet and spending less time with a screen. In the survey of 2,000 Americans, 50% says they've made a point to disconnect digitally and spend less time on screens for their well-being. And young Americans are trailblazing this trend, with 62% of Gen Z and 57% of millennials getting offline. 42% of Gen X and 29% of baby boomers are doing the same, which is, of course, a lower number. Here to weigh in is political commentator Brylan Hollyhand, along with a host of the Woke of the Week podcast and Gen Z influencer Justine Brooke Murray. Good morning to you both. Both wonderful young people in your own right. So, Brylan, I'll start with you. Are young people really spending less time on social media and screens?
Yeah, absolutely. This is this call to live countercultural. I mean, we don't have to accept skyrocketing depression rates year after year. What is the solution to that? Putting down our phones and actually touching grass, Carly. And that's what we're seeing amongst Gen Z. This goes back to this heart of where are we getting our influence from? Right now, my classmates are listening to a lot of podcast pros who tell us to put ourselves first, to focus on our jawlines, our body count, instead of how we can help others. And the solution to that is in 2026, let's listen more to Jesus than we listen to podcast pros. Let's open the Bible more than we open social media. Let's actually make sure that we're making phone stacks when we're hanging out with our friends and making emphasis on importance with face-to-face conversation, because maybe the result of that would be when we have frustrations with somebody, we sit down at the lunch table and talk to them, as opposed to our first thought being assassination. This is the solution that young people should be talking about. Starting this week, I'm going to speak on high school campuses to do just that. A lot of people put emphasis on college campuses, registering voters there, talking to voters, but high school seniors can vote. High school seniors are affected by this. So starting tomorrow, I'm going to go talk to high school peers to share the same message.
Yeah, it's, you usually think of young people as trailblazers, but it is interesting, Justine, that this is the trend right now. But after so many years of increased depression and anxiety, young people, I guess, are starting to realize that maybe it is connected to social media. And one of the things that young people are doing right now, it's called grandma hobbies. It includes needlepoint knitting, crocheting, crosswords, watercolors. I know a lot of people are doing colored pencils with, these like really elaborate colored pencil art. So what do you think about this? Are you noticing this as well?
A little bit. It's really hard for me to find another hobby other than using this every single day, especially being plugged in as someone who works in news. I've been plugged into my phone since the 7th grade. And as someone who's Jewish, who is supposed to observe the Sabbath, Shabbat, where we unplug a day every single week, I can't even do that. I've actually had to physically throw this out of the room or try to insert myself into an activity I'm not even interested in. I don't like sports. I'm a pageant girl, but I've actually had to learn how to play basketball, because there's that apparently. I'm 5'1". I don't even know how to do that. But the doom scrolling, the Twitch, has gotten so bad where you actually have to physically remove yourself from the situation. And Brylan is right. It's harder to hate up close. We've learned so much road rage from using our phones. It's funny how a technology that is supposed to advance us as the human race has really set us back to our most primitive ways, where we're just screaming at people. We don't even know if they're real people. It's become so lonely.
Yeah, and Justine, you're trying, so that's what counts. And Brylan, the Washington Post also has an interesting report on the side effects of too much social media. And they say that young people aren't actually communicating, and it's costing them. They struggle to make appointments, and if they get a phone call from somebody, they fail to call them back because they just don't know how to communicate anymore. For somebody who communicates for a living, what would your advice be to these young people?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I'm on social media a good bit. It's a part of what my job is. But when I moved to college last semester, the first thing I did was actually delete Snapchat, because I wanted to have more face-to-face conversations with people, and I didn't want to have the excuse of I'm just going to send you a selfie of my face instead of talk to you in person. And so that has been the coolest semester of my entire life, is I'm talking to more people. I'm having lunch with more people. I actually, when I want to check on somebody, I go to their dorm and see them in person, as opposed to just see what they're doing on their story. And the biggest thing, like this weekend, MLK Day, we're out of school on Monday. What is my classmates doing tonight? We're not going to sit and watch a movie. We're not going to sit and scroll through TikTok. We're going to go hike at a local park. We're going to go hang out face to face. That's getting back to that.
That is fantastic. You love to hear it. Brylan, Justine, thank you both so much for joining us. Usually you don't hear of a positive trend when it comes to young people, but this is one of them.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.